This video is presented as part of the Georgia Long-Term Care Emergency Preparedness Educational Program funded by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Civil Monetary Penalty Funds.
Hi, I'm Jim at the University of Georgia's Institute for Disaster Management, and today we're going to take a close look at emergency lighting in the long-term care setting. You see, if you lose power at your facility during an emergency, there's a very good chance that you and your residents could be left in the dark. Ow!
Excuse me.
Sorry. So, as you can see, emergency lighting is absolutely essential, especially for safety. We recommend having portable lighting that keeps your hands free during an emergency. We'd also like to point out that it's hard to benefit your residents if you can't even see your residents. Okay, so here's the part where some genius always asks the same question.
What about the emergency overhead lighting in the building? Isn't that good enough?
Well, the short answer is no, and the long answer is still no. Let me tell you why. Most emergency lighting is only meant to cover broad areas, like hallways and common areas, to keep the building from going totally dark. Most likely, there won't be an emergency light installed in every resident's room. And if there is one, it's a good chance that it's not going to be enough light to do something like start an IV or dress a wound. And additionally, if the emergency light does come on, which of course is not a guarantee, it will only last as long as the batteries or until the fuel in your generator runs out. For all these reasons and more, you need to have your own light that you can control.
Let's look at some options.
The standard flashlight that you can hold in your hand and shine all around is a really good thing to have available for any emergency. You can find an almost endless variety of flashlights with different sizes and configurations. That's good. Thank you. It's important to buy quality flashlights and keep several of them around in key places throughout your facility. It's even more important to keep your flashlights where you can easily find them, even in the dark. Like this one that bolts to the wall and glows in the dark. You need to keep your flashlights charged or be sure that you have plenty of batteries ready to go and stored properly in a place that you can access quickly. Some jobs require big power, and that's when a big flashlight really shines. If you need to search outside for a lost resident or check for damage on the 3rd or 4th floor after a storm, a big handheld flashlight can provide the power you need. The problem with using a handheld flashlight is that it leaves you with just one hand for everything else. Imagine how hard it would be to do your job with just one hand. Studies have shown that you will function about twice as well if you have two hands available to you in a disaster. Yes, you could hold a flashlight in your mouth like this guy. But if you've been handling blood and bodily fluids with your hands and you have a handheld flashlight, then you may not want to put that thing in your mouth. Studies have also shown that flashlights do not taste that good. The best choice for emergency lighting when you need to use your hands is a hands-free device like a headlamp. Okay, so clearly nobody looks that good in a headlamp. But if you need to be hands-on with engineering tasks or dietary tasks or clinical tasks, then generally speaking, a headlamp's probably your best choice. We recommend that every staff member and volunteer have their own headlamp issued to them and extra sets of batteries. Headlamps range in price, features, and quality, but decent ones are affordable, and even cheap clip-on ones can do a pretty good job. If you have a baseball cap, a small flashlight, and some duct tape, you can even make a headlamp just like this one. Imagine a situation where you need to move residents down a dark stairwell in the middle of a disaster. You're going to need both hands and a way to see where you're going. For effective emergency lighting in a disaster, hands-free, definitely the way to go. We always like to end these with a thrill, so who wants to hear more about proper battery storage procedures? Huh?
Yeah.
It's best that you don't just keep the batteries inside the light. If you leave the batteries in the light and it sits there for months or years, the batteries will go dead and then eventually leak acid out, destroying the flashlight. So remove the batteries, keep them wrapped up in a plastic bag, and tape that bag to the flashlight itself. If the power goes out, use your cell phone light to find the flashlights and install the batteries. We hope we've enlightened you about emergency lighting in disasters. Thank you for watching, and check out our YouTube channel for more educational videos. Okay, funny. Anybody got a headlamp? Flashlight? Anything?